How to Train Your Dragon, Chapter 4. Snotlout was laughing so hard he hadn't managed to say anything at all. The boys were hanging about the village gates, taking the opportunity to show off the dragons that they'd caught. Hiccup had tried to walk through without being noticed, but Snotlout stopped him. "Oh, let's see what pathetic creature Hiccup has got," said Snotlout, and took off the lid. "Oh, this is brilliant! Look at it," said Snotlout, when he finally got his breath back from laughing. "What is it, Hiccup? An ickle brown bunny rabbit with wings? A flower fairy? A fluffy flying frog? Gather round, everybody, and see the magnificent animal that our future leader has caught himself." "Oh, Hiccup, you are useless," crowed Speedy Fist. "You're the son of a chief, for Thor's sake. Why didn't you get one of those new monstrous nightmares with 6-foot wingspan and the extra extendable claws? They're really mean killers, they are." "I have one," grinned Snotlout, gesturing to the terrifying-looking flame-red animal fast asleep in his basket. "I think I shall call her Fireworm. What are you going to call yours, Hiccup? Sweetums? Sugar Lips? Babyface?" Hiccup's dragon took this particular moment to give a huge yawn, opening his tiny mouth so wide to reveal a flickering, forked tongue, very pink gums, and absolutely no teeth at all. Snotlout laughed so hard, Dog's Breath had to hold him upright. There you are, holding him upright. "Toothless!" cried Snotlout. "Hiccup has found himself the only toothless dragon in the uncivilised world. This is too good. Hiccup the useless and his dragon toothless." Fishlegs leapt to Hiccup's defence. "Well, you are not allowed that monstrous nightmare you've got there, snot-faced Snotlout. Only the son of a chief is allowed a monstrous nightmare. That fireworm dragon is Hiccup's by right." Snotlout's eyes narrowed. He grabbed Fishleg's arm and twisted it viciously behind his back. "Nobody's listening to you, you plankton-hearted fish-leg disaster area," sneered Snotlout. "Thanks to you and your snivelling, sneezing disability, that whole military operation was nearly a total disaster. When I'm chief of this tribe, the first thing I'm going to do is boot anybody with a pathetic allergy like yours straight into exile. You're not fit to be a hooligan." Fishlegs went very white in the face, but he still managed to gasp out, "But you're not going to be chief of this tribe. Hiccup is going to be chief of this tribe." Snotlout dropped Fishleg's arms and advanced menacingly on Hiccup. "Oh, he is he?" jeered Snotlout. "So I'm not allowed that monstrous nightmare, am I? Our future leader is keeping very quiet about it, isn't he? Come on, Hiccup. I'm stealing your inheritance. What are you going to do about it then, eh?" The boys all looked solemn. Snotlout really had broken an ancient Viking rule. "Hiccup should challenge you for the dragon," said Fishleg slowly. And everybody swivelled round to look expectantly at Hiccup. "Oh, brilliant," muttered Hiccup under his breath. "Thank you, Fishlegs. My day just gets better and better." Snotlout was a great brute of a boy who didn't really need Dog's Breath's help when it came to bashing people up. He wore especially constructed bronze-tipped sandals in order to cause maximum damage when kicking people. Hiccup tried to stay out of his way as much as he possibly could, but he couldn't ignore this insult to his status, now Fishlegs had helpfully pointed it out, without looking like a coward in front of the other boys. And if you became known as a coward in the hooligan tribe, you might as well go the whole hog, wear a pale pink jerkin, take up playing the harp, and change your name to Ermintrude. "I challenge you, snot-faced Snotlout, for the dragon Fireworm, who is mine by right," said Hiccup, trying to hide his reluctance by speaking as loudly and formally as he could. "I accept your challenge," said Snotlout, super fast, all grinning all over his horrid, smug face. "Axes or fists?" "Fists," said Hiccup. because axes were a really bad idea. I shall look forward to showing you how real future hero fights, said Snotlout. And then he remembered something. After the initiation thing on Thursday though, I don't want to stub my toe or anything while I'm kicking you all around the village. Hiccup might win, Fishlegs pointed out. Of course he won't win, boasted Snotlout. Look at my sporting ability, my Viking courage, my capacity for mindless violence. I shall win just as surely as I shall be chief of this tribe one day. I mean, look at my dragon, and then look at his dragon. He pointed mockingly at Toothless. Oh, the gods have spoken. It's only a matter of time. In the meantime, Snotlout carried on, I shall live in fear of being gummed to death by Hiccup's terrifying, toothless terrapin. And Snotlout sauntered off in a lordly fashion, giving Hiccup a nasty kick on the shins as he did so. Sorry about the challenge, Fishlegs apologised after they left the baskets with the dragon with them under their beds at their homes. Oh, don't worry about it, said Hiccup. Somebody would have got me to do it anyway. You know how they all love to fight. Fishlegs and Hiccup were going to the Great Hall to look for the book Gobber had recommended, How to Train Your Dragon by Professor Yobbish. As it happens, confided Hiccup, I know a bit about dragons already, but haven't the foggiest clue how to start training one. I would have said they were virtually untrainable. I'm really looking forward to getting some tips. Now the Great Hall was a hullabaloo of young barbarians, fighting, yelling, playing the popular Viking game of Bashyball, which is very violent contact sport with lots of contact and very few rules. Hiccup and Fishlegs found the book tucked away in the fireplace, practically in the fire. Hiccup had never noticed it before. He opened the book. Here is How to Train Your Dragon by Professor Yobbish. Hiccup was opening the book for the first time, full of hope and interest and expectation. You'll have to imagine in your mind the cover of this book is unusually thick, with huge golden clasps, and a scribe has covered it in elaborately fancy gilt lettering, and it looked very inviting indeed. And there we are, with lovely curly writing, and all about the publisher and Meathead Public Library. And there's a little bit about the author, Professor Yobbish, who has spent many years in the wild observing dragons in their natural habitat. So let me begin. Chapter 1. The first and last. Oh, the golden rule of dragon training is to yell at it. The louder the better. The end. And that's all there was in the book. How would you train a dragon? Professor Yobbish's hugely entertaining and informative book isn't really telling you very much, is it? That's it, said Hiccup furiously, turning the book upside down, shaking it, trying to see whether there was anything other than that single page of paper inside it. Hiccup put the book down. His face was unusually grim. Okay, Fishlegs, he said, unless you're any better at yelling than I am, we're on our own. We are going to have to work out our own method of dragon training.